Hey guys, it's Bianca, and I know I haven't made a video in a long time, but now I am. And I'm probably going to be on a schedule because I love making videos and I love ranting about my opinions. That's wrongly worded. I love to speak my opinions about things, and I might be doing some beauty stuff on my channel soon. I'm not sure though, and if I can do Let's Plays on this channel as well. I want to talk about something that has been bugging me constantly, and I have to rant to my sisters about it because I'm scared to do it in a video. So there is this fanfiction called After, and I follow the author on Twitter, and she seems really nice, she's really pretty, but I have a problem with what she writes. The story is about a girl named Tessa, and she goes to college and she meets Harry, who's a bad boy, when in the story he's actually an abuser and he's manipulative, and he is basically a psychopath in the story. Harry Styles is a really nice guy, and I love One Direction obviously. This is about Niall, Zayn, Liam, or Louis. I'd be pissed off, okay? And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it because in real life Harry Styles is such a nice person, and it bugs me that people call him a man whore. He got Villain of the Year award and stuff when he's such a good guy. All One Direction are just a group of amazing, talented, handsome, cute boys, and I'm glad I joined this fandom 2 years ago. And I've seen a lot of drama, I've seen a lot of crap, and I'm here to talk about this story because it does influence what people think of Harry, even if it's fiction. I read something on Wattpad that said that they lost respect for Harry for reals because he's a jerk. And that's after they read After. That's weird. And it pissed me off because they're changing their opinion because of a freaking fan fiction, okay? You should base your opinions off of how they really are, okay? Yeah, I don't know Harry Styles, but from what I've seen and what I truly believe, he's a nice guy. So if you want to make the assumption that he's a bad person because of fan fiction, then you are really idiotic. And for anything else, okay? The fan fiction, basically, it's sex, drama, abusiveness, sex, drama. It's just a cycle, basically. And Harry does rape her because Tessa says she wants to do it with Harry, and she's drunk, and people are like, well, she kept saying yes, so it was like consensual? Consensual? Is that what you say? Yeah. Basically, she's giving consent. And I was thinking, she's drunk. When you are drunk, you cannot give consent, okay? And I don't drink, but that is a well-known fact. When you are on drugs or any other kind of substance where your thinking is kind of blurred, you can't give consent to anything, whether it be sex or making a deal. You can't because you are not in your right mind at the moment, okay? And I don't do drugs, I don't drink. That is just a fact, okay? And they act like this story doesn't promote abuse or anything, or glamorizes it or romanticizes it, because it does. Because if it wasn't romanticizing it, then Tessa wouldn't be saying she loves Harry and going back to him after he does something so stupid in the story. And it pisses me off because I do feel like 50 Shades of Grey and After blurred the lines for abuse and actual things that are badass, okay? And it meant it. I knew somebody who was in an abusive relationship, and it got to the point where it was really dangerous for her, but she got out of it and she's safe now, thank God. But people should know the warning signs, which I will probably put on the screen or maybe in the description, but please read those warning signs because I don't want fan fiction or anything to blur the lines between actual abuse and being a badass. Now, there's these two girls I watch on YouTube, and they did a rant video, and I love them so much because I agree with them, and I watched it when I was a fan of After because I actually read it until chapter 9. I was thinking, oh my god, it's good, yeah, it's good. Then after looking up reasons that are logical and factual to look up how it's dangerous, I stopped liking it because I'm not going to like something that promotes sexual abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and thinking about how this is probably going to be, like I said, a movie, a book. It pisses me off because people like to think that this doesn't promote abuse, and it does, because if you read it, he basically humiliates her. That's one of the signs of an emotional or whatever, like an abusive relationship. That's one of the signs. He humiliates you, okay? And it pisses me off because there's so many other stories. Like somebody said, one of the girls that rant in another video, they made their own rant video, they said there's so many other fanfictions that are good, could get published, and that is true. It's also really ridiculous how people are not seeing that in the story Harry abuses her, and someone, I think it's not just someone, it's people saying that he is not abusing her because he doesn't hit her. And someone pointed out that is not okay to say, because abuse is not just hitting. It's, sorry my dog, it's being verbally abusive, it's being emotionally abusive, it's being manipulative, and people think that just because he's not abusing her that he needs to hit her in order to abuse her, and that is bullcrap, because abuse is not just hitting, as I said, okay? Abuse is different, okay? There's different kinds of abuse. It's not just me slapping somebody, okay? It could be me, you, whoever. It could be anybody verbally abusing somebody, emotionally abusing somebody, and also physically abusing somebody. It doesn't have to be all three, and it doesn't even have to be two of them. It just has to be one of them, and after he does two, I guess, I don't know if he hits her, oh, and sexually abused, he does that too in the story. It also pisses me off because from what I've seen and read, like, Anna Todd doesn't even answer the questions that people give her. Like this girl, she's amazing and I love her, and I just like want to make videos and speak my mind because she kind of inspired me to. But she asked her Anna questions nicely about like, why don't you change it? Do you think that this is romantic and stuff like that? And they're in such a nice way. And Anna was being rude and blocked her and didn't answer her, and she doesn't answer anybody. And someone said that they like were telling her Anna off or something on Wattpad or whatever, and then the next day her account was deleted. Her account was deleted because she didn't send hate. She actually stated things that were logical. And the girl that she told that she replied, it's crap because Wattpad is just doing that because their name is attached to something that could be a phenomena. And that kind of, I told her I was scared to make this video because I'm scared that I'm going to get in trouble because Wattpad might come after me or anything. I told my sister, she is probably, her and Wattpad, Anna Todd and Wattpad are probably using that as a scared tactic to not let people talk crap about them. And that is BS because, you know, if they're genuinely concerned about this story that's romanticizing something that is terrible, everybody should be concerned. Another thing I want to talk about is how the Fray basically promoted after. Basically what happened with Fray is they basically were talking to Anna and saying congrats on after. I think they said that they liked it, but they said something that did set a lot of people off, and they promoted it. And I told her, I told the different girl that I was talking to that doesn't like after either. She made one of the videos. She said it is true that if the Fray didn't have their name in the story, they wouldn't give two craps about it. Okay, and I told her if the Fray wasn't even Tessa's favorite band in the story, they wouldn't care. And the girl that was replying said it's crap because they're promoting something they don't even know, and that makes it worse. They should have touched up on the topic and said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And another thing is that I just don't think that having a story being published and made into a book, and that's going to probably ruin One Direction's reputation and make them look like the bad guys when in reality they're angels, it's going to make them look bad. And that pisses me off because I love them, and if this story didn't happen, none of this drama would have happened, okay? And I understand, Anna, if you're watching this, I am not trying to be hateful. I'm just expressing an opinion because one thing is, you know, writing a thing where he's actually a badass, and then another thing is writing where he's abusive and trying to come off as a badass. And you need to kind of learn the lines, you know, don't cross this line and don't cross that line. People don't understand that. This is scary because abuse happens and people are too scared to leave it. But in the case of Tessa Young, she just loves Harry. And the girl that made the rant video said, make it realistic to the point where in the story she stays with Harry not because of love in the story, because that's not realistic, but because of fear. And I agree with her, because when you stay with an abuser, it's because of fear. It's because you don't want them to hurt you, you don't want them to hurt themselves, you don't want them to hurt anybody. That's why a lot of people stay with them, because sometimes abusers threaten to do stuff too, okay? Even if they don't, the victims feel obligated to say because they're scared if something will happen. Anna Todd, I am not trying to hate on you. I'm not. Okay, this isn't a hate video. It's just a concerned viewpoint, as a lot of people are. And if you guys want to read the signs of an abusive relationship, link is in the description. If you're in an abusive relationship, or you or yourself are in one, or whatever, just read the sources and read the signs. I'm sorry, it's just because I was trying to think of the word to say, but yeah. Just thank you all for watching, and I'll probably make another video because I had to recreate this one because the lighting was terrible and the lighting probably terrible here. But thank you for watching, and Anna Todd, I'm sorry if this made it seem mad. It's just I'm trying to get you to understand me and other people's viewpoints, and that we're not hating on you, and that we're genuinely concerned. Thank you to get the time to watch this. Links are in the description, and I love you. Bye.